Welcome to Business News and Other Shit. I'm your host, Amer Abdullah. I am doing great today. Thank you for nobody asking. We're here today with our main man, the producer of this podcast, Chris Broadhead. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what up, playa?
How you doing today, man?
I'm pretty good.
Nice beard.
Thanks.
All right. Moving on to the next beard. Yahia Rashid.
Hey, what's up, playa?
Hi, cousin. How you doing?
Did you just call him a beach in Spanish?
I did.
Nice.
Thanks.
I would love to be a playa. Have all those
All
beautiful
people on you.
Don't hate
men
the playa,
and women
hate the
laying all
game.
over me. Don't hate the playa, hate the game.
Yeah.
And last but definitely least...
It's me. He's
Sam-
talking about me right now.
Sam Rickety Pricket.
Rickety Prick. Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good, man. We missed you last week,
Oh,
man.
I miss you guys.
In case you listened to the podcast last week, I did not mean the thing I said about you on that podcast.
You're saying I didn't listen. I was, yeah. I was
No
away.
idea.
I took a little brain vacation.
Welcome back from the playa.
Thank you.
Glad you're feeling better,
Thank you.
if you are.
Who's feeling good really ever? But I'm here and I'm excited
People-
to talk money.
Let's just call the show that.
Let's
Fucking
talk
money.
fucking money. Well, we've
I'll
dropped...
make a note that there were several F-bombs there.
Yeah,
There's one.
Then I said it.
I think I dropped one.
Oh, yeah.
I did the same one. so-
They're like, F-bombs are kind of, what's the word? Contagious?
They are, yeah.
I love how I struggled to find the word contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're contagious. But thank you for listening. Let's jump into it. We're going to talk about... So what's our agenda today, Sam? I'll tell you what our agenda is.
Wait, was Sam supposed to have the
No,
agenda?
I got scared. I had a panic attack for like half a second.
Sam, you had one job.
One job. We're going to talk about markets. We like to start with markets. We like to talk about the 60-20-20 rule that I like.
Boston market, solid.
Stock market, the Boston market,
Mm-hmm.
and, of course, the
Fresh market.
fresh market, where you buy
Where
tomatoes,
money is green
onions, and kale.
And, tomatoes are green or very unripe.
Just don't buy any romaine lettuce
That
from
was
the fresh
very
market.
clever. Can we buy romaine lettuce?
We can.
Are we allowed to buy that?
It is now, romaine lettuce is now back in the market in case
Oh,
anybody's
man.
wondering.
That was a crazy time. We made, weeds becoming legal. Now we can't buy romaine lettuce. It's a topsy-turvy world.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, big pharma and big tobacco is losing business big time. Big tobacco is
Really?
losing
Not for
business
me.
big time. No, you're still smoking your cigs?
Still smoking my cigs.
Well, they're
You're
going
not
down.
You're not a jewel man.
No, no.
Well, here's the big thing. Philip Morris, used to be called Philip Morris. They're now called Altria. They have bought a huge stake in Juul because I think they're concerned about their tobacco business just falling into
Burning out,
falling into a
dying of lung cancer.
Yeah.
hole. Their Altria itself is dying of lung cancer. It's metastasizing to all parts of their business.
Yeah.
Making their house unsellable because it's full of old smoke remnants.
They're a nasty couch that no one wants on Craigslist because there's a whole lot of cigarette holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be able to. Is that the only office you're still allowed to smoke in? Because if you're not allowed to smoke inside of a tobacco business, then
I mean I
Might
gotta
be in
think
the wrong business.
I gotta think Altria as a company has offices all over. Like they probably have a New York office on Fifth Avenue somewhere, and I'm sure you can't smoke in that office.
that's a shame.
But if they have a North Carolina office, because a lot of the stuff
Woo! Go, go!
is Sam's from North Carolina. In case you're wondering what that was,
That's our state slogan.
what
Woo! Go, go!
he just held.
Can you explain what that means or the origin of that?
It's ancient North Carolinian.
But did it derive from something
Natives, right? First Nations?
racist and sexist?
Oh, it
and
absolutely. The woo is a man getting excited because he sees a
Native
his
American?
wife talking to a Native American,
Uh-huh,
and then the cow or one bullet for each.
Ah.
You just made that up, right?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to talk about the markets. We're going to talk about... let me just look at the agenda real quick. Sorry, everyone. We're going to talk about the government shutdown. So our government may get shut down, and we're gonna discuss that, and we'll probably combine those two together.
Shut
we'll
it
go straight into
down.
We're then gonna talk about Europe, because the big three in Europe are having some serious issues right now. Germany, UK, and France. I mean, serious issue. And then finally, we'll close off with China and trade. Huawei
China.
and Meng Wanzhou.
Wait, what way are we going to talk?
Huawei.
What way?
Yahweh, our Lord and Savior. Yahweh.
That's the
Okay.
Jewish. That's how you say God in Hebrew.
In
That's how you say
Jew,
God in
Yeah.
Jewish.
In
Yeah.
Jewish.
I don't think you
Is
can
that what I
actually
was
say
gonna
that
say?
word. For
Actually, you
God.
know how he got his name? Someone was talking to someone about God. Moses came down from the mountain. He was like, "Hey, I just saw God," and then people went, "No way," and he was like, "Yahweh." So that's how
Wait, wouldn't God be named Yesway then?
he had a speech impediment. A lot of people
Oh.
don't know that.
Moses.
Yeah.
Yahweh.
Let's get into it. So the markets are going up and down. I mean, we're in straight up yo-yo territory right now. One day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. We've had several days where they drops like 500, 600, 700 points. Everyone starts freaking out. They're losing so much money. And then somehow the market will rally back. So the
It's
world,
like a rapids.
you mean like, yeah, almost like whitewater rafting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the market, the choppy. The best way to describe the markets right now is choppy waters. That's what we're in right now. I continue to hold fast to my idea that if you're listening to this podcast and you are a casual investor, I'll say that. Thank you, Chris. You want to just slowly keep plugging away. You know, the markets and the market swings do not have a big impact if you're a regular saver using the 60-20-20 rule, for example. Do you know what the 60-20-20 rule is, Sam?
No idea.
60% of your income that you bring in. So let's say you bring home $1,000 a
Why is
month.
that funny?
$1,000.
Giggly.
Let's say it's
Shit.
$1,000 a week you
Yeah.
bring home for your income. Okay, $600, 60% of it should go to safety, food, shelter,
Guns, ammo,
Yeah.
maybe like
Clothing.
a dog.
Yeah.
Cans of
The
tuna.
military ration packs.
freeze-dried
Water.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
Astronaut ice
Fleshlight so you don't lose your mind after the apocalypse.
Exactly. 20% should go to savings. So first S is safety. Second S for 20%, $200.
Sex.
Savings. The other 20% should go to
Splurge.
splurge.
That's
Which-
what happens after sex.
That's just the Muslim way of saying sex.
Splurge.
Splurge.
I'm going to splurge.
Isn't there a word splooge?
Splooge.
What does that mean?
That's also a word.
There was a
probably.
soda in like the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that was Surge.
It's probably some
Yahoo's a drink.
Probably
too.
similar.
ejaculate.
You mean Yoo-hoo?
Yeah.
Trust
Thank
me,
you.
I know because people mess up my name all the time.
Yahia, they call you Yahoo.
Yeah.
I mean Yoo-hoo.
No. They call me Yahoo.
If only they knew the correct pronunciation of your name was Yahia.
Not this
The
again.
funny thing is, it's not.
I thought it was haha. Because I was trying to add on and it didn't work at all.
Hey,
I'll
hey,
see
Sam.
myself out.
Sam.
No, it's fine.
They can't all be home runs, dude.
Thanks for
Bye,
joining us
Sam.
today, Sam. Have a great one.
Maybe we'll let you stay for 10 whole minutes next time. Probably not.
So stock market. So 20%, $200 a week. That's of your $1,000 goes to investing, and the final $200 goes to splurge. Whatever you want to splurge on, fine. You want to go on a date and possibly be intimate with that person afterwards? Great. You want to go to a gun range or skydive with someone attached to behind you?
Yeah.
Great.
Take out your, deep-seated hatred
On.
at a gun range. At a gun range, yeah.
I've been to a gun range. Have you?
No, I've never shot
North
a gun.
Carolina, you've never shot a gun.
Never shot a gun. They
I'm
scare
from
me. I don't
Florida.
like
I've
loud
never
noises.
shot a gun either.
Is that right? How am I, the Muslim from the north? Like, I've shot multiple guns multiple times.
How is that? I don't know. I don't know. You'd probably be better at telling me.
I mean, I feel like we're just doing a role reversal here. Like, I would expect the white dudes to be like, I shoot guns every other day.
No, we're not. If I was that guy, we probably wouldn't be friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
60, 20, 20.
We didn't all vote for Trump, Amer.
yeah, just half of the white dudes here.
Yeah, just me.
Yeah.
So 60, 20, 20, continue to invest those $200 a week. Now, if you've got powder dry, if you got a little extra money, this is not the time to be putting that money in the market. This is the time to be just kind of keeping that money.
Blowing it on Coke.
Patting your pocket, blowing it on Coke. Spending it.
What powder is more dry than
on
Coke?
Cashew cereal.
Can we be real for a second?
That's
What's
true.
the question?
It's more dry.
What powder is more dry than Coke?
Baby powder,
Talcum powder.
talcum.
I mean, if you're
Chalk.
buying it right, it's probably mostly that stuff.
Yeah, if you got a good source, it's mostly baby laxatives, fentanyl, and
Wait, do they really put fentanyl in
and
cocaine?
Coke sometimes. Yeah, that's
That
a
would make
big.
sense.
That's a
It's
big
an
fear now.
opioid, right?
If you
Yeah.
touched fentanyl, like you immediately die.
No, a lot of people are overdosing. It's not great.
On
Yeah.
Coke, they're overdosing?
No. Fentanyl.
Well, the fentanyl in the Coke is making people die and shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
Isn't that
sad,
the
actually.
opposite?
That's hilarious that they're cutting a very dangerous drug with a more dangerous drug and that people are dying from.
Not that surprised. What were you asking, Yahia?
I was really confused because like fentanyl is like an opiate, like you said.
Yeah.
So it calms you down, but cocaine isn't it supposed
Yeah, they
to
shouldn't put that
stimulate
Yeah,
you?
no, it's weird. I don't know why they do it. Sometimes you hear stories. It might all be like wives' tales or whatever, but that's
Whose wives are you hanging out with?
Whores. But
Whores' wives?
whores' wives. Yeah. They gotta.
Lots of lesbians.
Yeah.
Sam's friends with.
I'm big into the cuckold scene.
What's cuckold?
Cuckolding is when a gentleman and his woman partner, usually wife, will watch his wife be made
yeah,
love
cuck
to
by
another man.
It's called cuckolding.
Cuckolding, yeah.
Oh. Have you been part of this?
No, I was joking.
Okay.
That scares me. I'm too jealous. I would do it. I'll put that out there. If there are any if financial dudes seem like
How can
they
people
would be
reach
into
you if they
cuckolding.
want to?
So just to be clear, you're offering your wife to be fucked.
yeah. If anyone out there getting just a free reign on my wife, whoever, I do not care. Just, please, someone's got to do it. I'm bored.
Bombs there, Chris. Make note.
Oh, appreciate that. I was laughing. I didn't hear them.
Where were we? Markets. Keep investing. All right. What are we really talking about here? So here's my thing. I feel like even though we're quite in choppy waters, this is still kind of the calm before the storm. I think everyone's like, including myself, is kind of like, okay, when's the recession coming? Expecting a recession. But the thing is, when everyone is expecting a recession, it doesn't happen. It's kind of like watching a pot boil.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Is that what it's called? Like a
watch pot never boils.
There we go.
A watched recession never recesses.
Yes, a watched recession never recesses. I like that. That's a cool line. A watched recession never recesses.
That'll be the title of the episode.
There you go. So we're all sitting here waiting. It's the calm before the storm. Yes, we're volatile. Everyone's scared to buy right now. Okay, got it. So I think we're just kind of in this no man's land right now until a shoe drops. And I think everyone's just waiting for a big shoe to drop. Because there's a whole lot of shoes out there we're going to talk about.
Trump shoes?
Exactly. Clown shoes, a.k.a.
Heelys.
What's a Heely?
It's those shoes with wheels on the heel.
Wheels in the bottom. People would run.
You never had a
ride
pair of
around.
Heelys?
I had a pair of LA gear that would light up when I'd walk.
That's so cool.
It was cool.
Bet you were
Amer
fast. Are you
kidding?
fast? Do they make you fast?
Like run faster? Or do you mean fast from food like all day long?
Either or. I think they're one and the same, honestly.
No. These shoes did not make me run faster. So it's the calm before the storm. There's so many things uncertain out there. So number one, China and trade. President Trump is nothing but a sledgehammer when it comes to solving this problem with China.
Broadhead.
He's a broadhead.
Solving this broadhead problem.
He's just a sledgehammer. Boom. You remember those games at like Showbiz or Chuck E. Cheese? Like boom, boom,
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. Yeah. He's a whack-a-mole.
Is
when
he
it
a
comes-
whack or a mole?
He's definitely the whack.
He's the whack.
Yeah.
Who are the moles?
The Chinese.
Oh, yeah, they because the little eyes.
You racist.
Just popping out of holes.
Recession. A watched recession never recesses. So, problems with China. Problems in Europe. Europe is having some major issues right now with their leadership and their politics. We'll get to that in a minute. But one of those shoes could drop right there. Economic growth is slowing. So already in Japan and Germany, they're either in recession or moving into recession. So economic growth globally is already starting to slow down. People are starting to lose their jobs around the world. And we in America, because we had a huge tax cut for the rich, we kind of were able to avoid it for 6 months or a year. It feels like it's coming. There's so much out there. I mean, and I'll say last, the whole world order is at risk. Like,
The New World Order.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
WWE.
Yeah.
The-
The Illuminati is having a tough time right now. They're having some financial troubles.
Maybe we want to help them out.
Send
Yeah.
your gold to the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Just gather it up, burn it down,
And your
send it.
firstborn son. They need new members.
And a few goats while you're at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so world order that exists currently, which is basically like America and Europe win World War II and then slam their fist on the table and say, we're going to basically dictate how shit goes in this world. And they did. And they've been successfully doing that. They were tested a couple times with like North Korea and I think Soviet Union, USSR with Mikhail Gorbachev. But like we won basically. And all of that, and we created NATO so that we would protect Europe and Japan's army, Pearl Harbor, we got through all that shit, and basically we set our currency as the reserve currency so that everyone talks about dollars around the world. Our Federal Reserve policy and how we run policy here, we basically won the world. And now that's all getting thrown into question because everyone who's partners with us,
So Donald Trump is the president of the world.
they
Bye.
call him leader of the free world.
That's hilarious.
There's a reason for that.
Most powerful man in the world. So powerful, very great, tremendous power.
It's not even a good impression.
Yeah, those
This is Donald Trump.
Uh-huh.
So that's what's going on. So I'm thinking one of those shoes. I can't believe the market is actually not lower than it already is. So I'm actually bearish. Again, you continue to invest long term, but if you're someone who's actively trading, I would actually be arguing to step away from stocks, start selling some of your stocks, especially tech stocks, because I just think a shoe is going to drop. One of these big things is going to drop. The world order is changing. Our
You
relationship
think
with
people
China
are
is
going to
changing.
stop buying technology, though?
No, I just think technology and innovation may get slowed because all of the wonderful setup of the world that we had the last 60, 75 years is potentially we've moved one step in the direction of that disintegrating.
Like the apocalypse.
We've moved a step towards that. I'm not saying we've moved towards I'm not saying we're in the apocalypse at all. But like you can't ignore that what Donald Trump is doing is impacting relationships with countries in the world that we're in.
Yeah, yeah. But I just don't understand how that would affect technology stocks specifically.
Well, okay, so for example, the iPhone itself as a phenomenon in our hands, for example, all we have to pay is $500, $600, $700 for that, right?
That's true. And there's also a war
$1,300.
going on for the what's that mineral that everyone has?
Cobalt?
Lithium?
No.
I think it's cobalt.
No, it's
There's been a whole big drama this week about cobalt.
it's not cobalt. It's another thing. It's
lithium?
not lithium. I forget what it's called, but there's like a whole war going on for this.
Yeah, I think
specific
China
thing.
actually mines a lot of it.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. But yeah, so that's in the
Apparently, I heard on a podcast yesterday that more people have died in this war than in the Second World War.
Which war?
The war for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
so
it's a
100
big
million
deal.
people died.
Did they die in? 100 million.
100 million people died in
100
World
million
War.
Maybe
died
World
in
War
World War
One.
II.
Maybe it was World War One. But like over 6 million people have died in this war for this mineral that no one even knows
In the
about.
20th century, 180 million people died in Western wars. And when I heard that number, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Was this a scuffle?
He slightly touched my shoe,
I was
Oh.
playing
and
footsie
so I
with
told him
Kurt,
to,
I was gonna say, I don't think that was an accident.
check himself before
yourself.
I wreck myself.
You don't need my help for that.
No, I don't. I'm fine doing it alone.
Where was I? 180 million people have died in Western wars in the 20th century. And it made me think, like, wow. We look at all these other countries like Middle Eastern people, terrorists, whatever, Africa, or Russia, whoever. They're savages, they're cannibals, people are okay. We, as part of our wars here, Western wars, 180 million people die. No one is more violent than we are as a Western people.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just good at it.
Good
We just got good at it. We don't have to use spears anymore. The second people are using spears, like, you're a bunch of savages. We just kill millions of people
Drones.
in 1 second with it. Yeah.
Nuclear bombs. So yeah. So yeah, world order is being upended as we speak. So one other reason, and this is more a short-term problem because I think it has to ultimately get resolved. But from time to time, when the government doesn't agree, like Congress and the president don't agree on spending bills, what'll happen is there'll be a standstill. And like the president will be like, F you. And the Democrats will be like, F you. And there'll be so much F you energy going around that no one passes a spending bill. And because there's no actual law permitting money to get spent on the government's behalf, the government actually shuts down. And people stop showing up to government work and government jobs because they're not getting paid. They're getting furloughed. And guess what? We are probably a week or so away from that happening. There's not a bill beyond, I believe it's December 20th or something like that. So if for example, I don't know the exact date, but let's just say it's December 20th. If a new bill is not passed in Congress in the next 7 days by December 20th, then there's no bill allowing money to get transferred, and the guy who transfers money in the government has to stop because he'd be breaking the law if he sends any money back and forth, and so the government will shut down, and then no one shows up to work until the bill is passed, and that has happened in the past before, and the stock market does not like that, but usually, in all cases, the government reopens eventually. Right now, that's happening.
When the government shut down, can someone just walk in with a bunch of their friends and be like, "Hey, we're doing this. You guys are clearly not, you know,
like they sound like a bunch of
responsible
children.
enough." Yeah,
It's
My
like
guess is
they said this, you said that, and then it's like they just go home and don't want to talk anymore.
you should hear what happened yesterday. Not
I
yesterday.
want
before yesterday.
pizza. I want pasta.
That's exactly what it is. Here, to talk more. Sam just fell off his chair, I think.
Sam just
Alright,
made
then.
the most possible noise he could.
To talk to us about the government shutdown and what it means and what's happening is my dad, Sutki Abdullah. Dad, come on in. Hi, Amer, how are you? I'm good, Dad. How you doing? I'm very, very good. Thank you very much for asking. You know, son, thank you for inviting me. I want to talk to your friend, Sam, and Yahia and Chris about the government shutdown. This is very, very bad situation. Okay, Sam? Sam, you look sick. Are you okay, son?
I'm very ill.
What is wrong?
Scurvy.
Oh, we need to get you some fruit or vegetable.
Nah, I don't.
Do you like eggplant?
I'm fasting.
You are fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. You're a spiritual person.
Very spiritual.
You could be possibly Muslim one day.
Yeah, I'm working towards it. I think I'm going to start with Christian, then work my way up to Hindu, and then Muslim, and then the ultimate goal is Scientology.
Well, I can tell you, we will be waiting for you when you are ready.
Okay.
My friend, please make sure you have some eggplant after this.
Okay.
Okay, Yahya, good to see you.
Hi, I'm
Chris, good to see you. Chris, how are
Hey,
you?
what up? I'm
Good,
good.
Okay, so listen, This, my son is correct. The government might get shut down in 1 week. Okay, this is, my friends, bullshitting. Okay, this is bullshitting because we all pay taxes, we all work very hard, we all own this country together, and the government should be agreeing, because when they don't agree, we are the loser. Sam, you are loser. Yahya, you are loser. Chris, you are loser.
Okay.
I am loser. Okay, we must get the government to stay open. Yes,
How do we do that?
this is good question.
Tweet Donald Trump. Please, Daddy, would you keep
You're
it?
wrong.
The-
You're wrong for shutting down.
The truth. You want the truth? You want the truth? Do you want the truth, Chris?
Yes, please.
Truth. Okay, I give you truth. We have to call our representative in our senator office. You have to. We must call and say, I do not accept this. I will not vote for you if you don't fix this problem. Do you know, 2 days ago, Nancy Pelosi, do you know Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah.
And do you know Chuck
Nancy Pelosi?
Pelosi? Yes, we don't have B in Arabic. We only have B. Can you explain, Yahya?
We don't
What?
have B. We have B.
You
This-
have B instead of B?
You
What do you
are-
call B's?
You are not, you are, you know, Yahya. I don't like what you, tell him we have no B, we have only B.
Oh, I think what he's trying to say is in English we have P. In Arabic we don't have any P. We have B's only.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
we don't have the letter B in Arabic. We only have
Oh,
B.
okay.
Sorry,
can
I
say-
didn't
So-
understand you at first.
So
I can say
when
this
you
letter
get
because I've never
stung,
been.
When something stings you, you go, a P just stung me.
No,
No,
this
no.
is a B stung me.
You got it
We have
the
no
other way
P.
around.
For
Oh.
example,
No
I need to
P.
take a bis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is a cat in Arabic.
I need to take a bris.
What is a bris?
A
You gotta
bris
take
is
a
when you cut your
bis?
foreskin off.
Sam,
Yeah.
are you okay, my son?
No, I'm a very disturbed man.
He just wants to be circumcised.
2 days ago, not yesterday, but the day before, okay?
Uh-huh.
It is Tuesday. Donald Trump, he invite Nancy and Chuck.
Pelosi.
Yes. Nancy
Pelosi.
Pelosi and Chuck
Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Schumer. No, not Chuck Woolery. But he have great show, you know, this dating
Chuck
show.
Woolery.
Huh.
The marriage show, the dating marriage. Do you remember the show?
Who wants to
I
marry a
don't remember. I
millionaire?
just know he's a
No.
big Trump guy now.
It's called The Dating Game. Very good show. I
Ah.
used to watch every day in the 80s. Anyway, he invite.
What
Polo-
are the
but-
80s like?
Oh, let me tell you. Camel cigarettes, no filter,
Uh-huh.
and
I'm
lots.
in.
Yes,
Yeah.
Stock was booming.
lots of Playboy
Cub
magazine.
was big.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like, so really good articles?
There was no article back
Oh,
then. Chris.
really?
All picture.
Oh, man.
All
Glory
picture.
days.
Exactly. So, 2 days ago, Trump invite Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to come to Oval Office. Okay, him and Mike Pence, they were there together.
Mike Bentz?
Mike Pence, you know him, the vice president. He
Ben-
looks.
oh, yeah, the really vanilla fellow.
Yes, he looks like a
Triscuit cracker. That
high school
turned
football
human.
coach. He looks like a high school football coach
Yeah,
who
God
has
willing, the next president of the United States.
very
I
possibly.
said, get Trump out of there. He's not fit for office. Mike Pence, he's the man.
Pence 2020.
Yes.
So Pence now he don't say anything the whole time.
I
Trump.
put my Bentz on this morning, one leg at a time.
You put your
Please
Pence on.
continue.
Yes, yes. Trump the whole time he like this. His hands here and his. Hey, we're gonna build a wall. We're gonna build a wall. We don't care what you. We're gonna get funding for that wall. That was Donald Trump.
That
It's a
was
Southern
that wasn't
Trump.
Bentz.
It's Donald Trump if he was from North
Donald
Carolina.
Trump.
Too many people talk one time. I don't hear you. Okay, Sam, you first.
I retract my statement.
Thank you. Yahya?
It sounded like you said Donald Dump.
Very possible I said
Yeah.
this. Chris?
I forget what I said.
So, the whole time, Trump, he is telling Schumer. Trump with a B.
Trumbo.
He's telling Chuck Schumer, if the government shut down, it's your fault. And Schumer tell him, you keep saying, Mr. Trump, you're going to shut down the government if you don't get funding for your wall for Mexico. And Trump, finally, he says, you know what? Okay, it's true. I'm proud to say I'm going to shut down the government if you don't give me $5 billion for Mexico wall. And finally, everyone say, okay, if the government got shut down, it's because Trump fault. Finally,
Wow.
the Democrats they have one win because they got Trump to say it's his fault if they shut down the government.
Is that a win, or is that just the fall of is that really a win for the Democrats if the president is just
2018
clearly,
it is.
I guess.
Have you heard of Bissing match?
Yes, I've heard of a Bissing match.
That is what is happening
Bissing
here between the
match.
Democrat and the Republican.
Uh-huh.
It's a Bissing match. They're trying to what is a
Outbiss each
Bissing?
other.
What is a Bissing match to you?
Like
Sam?
swords?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Whoever can
Playing
biss longer.
swords?
Yes.
Thank God it's not Hillary, because she would lose a pissing match.
Why?
Big dumb pussy.
Why can't this big dumb vagina biss very long?
Wait, can you? All right, step back. Can we? Let's break that joke down. So, can you explain it?
Yeah, well, I mean, dick has pressure. It's like a hose, right?
Uh-huh.
A vagina pees. I imagine I've never watched it live, but I imagine from
So you've
my
watched
research
it
in the videos,
recorded.
it just kind of looks like a bucket of water dumping on the ground.
This
Instead
is
of you
not
don't really
correct,
get
Sam.
any.
You are a very stupid
Not-
boy.
This is not
Sam,
anatomically correct.
Both the man and the woman, they have what is called a bladder. It is like a water balloon.
Yeah,
And there's a muscle.
a urethra, but
Sam,
it doesn't come out
Sam,
the
wait.
same.
It
Do you
bush.
think that
It
the
bush.
woman pees out of her vagina?
she pees out of her not the vagina hole.
Yeah, but how many holes are there?
2. There are 3 if you're counting the clit.
Wait,
My friend.
Wait,
My
The
friend.
clit
Wait,
anatomy
it's
is
a
really
hole
messed up.
now?
Yeah, is it not?
What?
Yeah, it's a hole where happiness comes in,
Ah.
and then it is or disappointment if it's me,
Yeah.
down there. But I'm sweating.
This
This is going to be a segment called Human Anatomy with
Sam
Sam
Yeah.
Pricket.
Pricket.
Hey,
We
Sam.
No,
Sam Pricket, who
Sam.
breaks it down for us.
No, Sam, a girl pees out of her butt.
Oh, that's
Come on,
why it's
come
safe
on.
to eat.
Chris,
ass.
this is only when she has diarrhea.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So
Or when she's
Nah.
on her period. Am I right, fellas?
No, but seriously, a girl
please,
has
Chris,
a
can you
urethra.
delete this whole segment?
So, Trump and markets, and yeah.
Trump, government shutdown. He wants money for the Mexican wall because he wants to get more vote. The whole time, Pence, he no say nothing, but Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Trump, they yelling at each other the whole time. Now, the best part, Trump
Yeah, that was
promised
amazing.
Schumer and Pelosi, this is going to be private meeting with no press. They come into the office, and Trump go like this, and all the press, they come in, and they became public conversation.
Wait, all the breasts came in?
All the press.
Yeah. Well, you know who's in control of the media.
The breasts?
Yeah, women. That was all, Hillary.
Did you say Hillary or Hillary?
Hillary Hilton.
Yes, I know her
And
from her porn video.
yeah.
Oh no, that
She
was
kills a
Beres.
man.
Wait,
See,
you
that
saw the
joke
video?
it's actually a
You saw
pro
the video
woman.
of her being born?
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
Chris?
you haven't seen it?
Wonderful. I
Of her
will.
being born.
She comes out with a pantsuit on.
I send you link.
Wow. I gotta see this.
So anyway, Pelosi and Schumer, they make Trump look stupid in front of all the breasts that Trump bring.
Could I correct that? I think Trump made Trump look stupid.
Very good. I
Wasn't
think
it?
he
It was
did.
all his idea.
This is true, but
He gotcha journalism himself.
The best part, Schumer, if you see this video, it's great. Schumer, the whole time, he no look at Trump in the eye. He's looking this way all the time. He refused Trump on the side, and Schumer, he looked this way. And he keeps saying, you are the one. Trump, you are the one who's going to shut down the government. You. He refused to look at him. The way sometimes when there's homeless guy on the train and everybody just keep
avoid
looking
eye
straight.
contact.
Avoid eye contact.
Just look down at your phone.
Exactly. Schumer, he
really
drew this.
flaunt it in their face. Look at what you don't have.
Schumer, he did this so many times with homeless people on the train in D.C. I'm sure he's an expert. He did it with Trump. It worked like a charm.
That's crazy.
So anyway, so Pelosi, she goes back to the House and she goes to have press conference with her, goes to have private meeting with her other Democrat, and she this is just a few minutes after her big showdown with Trump and this whole border wall. She said, quote, this is quote, Trump must have said the word wall 30 times. I was trying to be the mom in the room. It goes to show you, you get into a tinkle contest with a skunk, you will get tinkle all over you.
Tinkle?
This is
So
what Pelosi
so there was
said.
tinkle coming out of the breasts. I
Are
get it.
skunks known for their tinkle?
I just simply think what
Which means like spray.
I believe what she's trying to say basically is, you know, when you get into tinkle contest, no, bissing match. That's what she's trying to say. You get into bissing match, you will get biss all over you.
Yeah, with a man. That's what I'm saying. That's what call back to. She's a lady.
Call back to the hose.
Call back to the holes.
The hose.
Not women.
H-O-S-E.
I don't say that, but they have them.
No. You
More
said
than we do.
you said the penis is like hose. H-O-S-E.
Yes.
I'm sorry for my accent. The final thing, she went for a big attack on Trump. She said, it's like a manhood thing for him. As if manhood could even be associated with him.
Oh, snap.
This wall thing is like a manhood thing for him.
Yeah, it's a midlife crisis he's taking out on the country. Most people just buy a motorcycle or build a deck or something, but he has to build a wall across the country.
I believe this is true, Mr.
Yeah.
Pricket. He is basically saying, look at my big dick.
Yeah.
Or he's compensating for his
I would
lack of
love
one.
to
This
if
Friday.
he would just offer it.
You
You
don't
know.
want to see this, I
But if
promise you.
Donald Trump took out his dick in a press conference, he was like, look at it. Look at how big it is.
Do you think he would get in trouble for that?
No.
No, me neither.
I believe his rating will go higher.
Probably.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't say anything.
We need a strong leader who's willing to whip their dick out
Yeah.
whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
That's what America needs.
America, we are crazy here. So the government may get shut down. Be prepared. It's crazy idea, but this does happen. The stock market will probably fall a little bit. I will now give the microphone back to Amer. Unless anybody they have question for Father Amer, me.
What was trickle down economics like?
Chris. You know Ronald Reagan. He
Ronald Reagan.
was a good actor,
Mm-hmm.
but he was not a very good president. I must say.
Because he trickled down.
Let's put it this way. Fine, the rich people, they spend a lot of money, and the money trickled down on them. But does anybody want anything to be trickled on them?
Sam just raised his hand.
Why, Sam? Why you want to be trickled upon?
If the thing before wasn't okay to say, I can't even imagine. So,
Please hold the thought to yourself.
mhm.
So that's my opinion about trickle-down economics. Is it does not work in a real way because yes, maybe some money come down to the poor people or middle class like me, but I don't want sloppy seconds. You know sloppy seconds?
No.
Have you heard of sloppy seconds?
Yeah,
How-
Eskimo brothers. You could be an Eskimo brother with Reagan. The trickle
not,
down.
Not this guy.
No.
I'm Muslim. He don't like me. Wait, Reagan is dead. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, but what Sam's asking is if you and Reagan ever cross swords in the bedroom by accident.
Oh.
No, we just had sex with the same lady.
Yeah.
That's what
You could do it at
sloppy
different times,
seconds.
too.
So you get someone's money after they had it, right? Is that what you're referring to, in terms of trickle down?
You know, there was this one time I see Nancy Reagan at a ribs joint,
Mm-hmm.
and I was using the bathroom, and she was waiting. It's a single, no gender bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I open the door and I see Nancy Reagan. And I say, "Oh, hi, Nancy Reagan." She said, "Oh, hi, Mr. Abdullah." I told her, "Come on in." And she came in. I close the door behind her. I turn on the sink so no one can hear anything. And the rest of the
And
story...
then I drowned her in the sink.
No. Flush her down the toilet.
Oh, okay. It's very small.
You gave her a
woman.
swirly.
Basically.
Okay.
I tell her, "You want to trickle down on me? I will trickle down on you."
Oh.
peed on the back of her head.
Snap.
Any other question for me?
No, I think
Amer's
we nailed
dad pissed on Miss Reagan.
May she rest in
That's
peace.
the name of the episode.
Wait, by the way, is she alive? I think she passed away.
Let's ask your dad.
I don't remember. I'm asking you.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Wait, do you mean my dad? That would mean Amer's grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
let's
remembers
meet him.
everything.
You know, he is back in Palestine.
Oh, shit.
One day we will bring him.
Palestine?
Palestine. I
I
would
can't
say-
even pronounce the name of your own.
Because, you know, in Arabic, it's not Palestine. It's Palestine with an F.
So what do you guys got against peas?
You know, I think they say they are healthy because they are
Yeah.
green, but in
Peas?
general they don't taste very good.
No, mushy.
Nancy Reagan is indeed dead.
May she rest in peace.
When'd she die?
March
26
6th, 2016.
Oh, wow, very recent.
Condolences to the
Yes.
Reagan family.
So
My
she
friends-
survived the beasing. She survived the beasing match.
The beasing match. Yes, the beasing
Mhm.
match.
And Y2K. She survived a lot.
Whoa.
And the whole drug war in the 80s.
Yeah.
But
A lot
it's
of
funny the
casualties.
fentanyl that got her. I hear
Yeah.
maybe she
She did
OD'd.
a whole line of fentanyl.
My friends, I have to go. I have a grocery store and restaurant I must go to now. The employees are trying to steal money from the cash register. I'm going to
Alright.
catch them and kick their ass.
Get him.
Goodbye.
Bye, Ammo.
You get him.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Wow.
Woo.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Whoa, Amer.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
dude.
welcome back, man.
Yeah.
Oh, your dad literally just left.
Dude, your dad's such a cool man.
It's a
You like it?
weirdo.
Yeah.
Why?
He's a player.
You know my dad?
He has a weird accent. This sounds like a speech impediment.
I
or
do
something.
this material in my stand-up. My dad is a strong man. He's a Palestinian refugee, so he's gonna come across as a little bit weird. But you know, when I ask him about his story, he tells me I came to this country with nothing but the shirt on my back.
Should have packed a little bit more, probably.
Well, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
If he
But-
had more.
But
He only
He
had
never-
one shirt.
Why was it on his back? Why wasn't he wearing it?
He's wearing it like a cape. He was blackout drunk when he came.
Come on, man.
Your impression of your dad is almost perfect.
Really,
Yeah.
I've been
I
practicing
couldn't
for
tell
38
difference.
years.
Wait, that was an impression?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were talking to your dad.
No, this impression that I just did now about
Yeah,
the
you
shirt on
really
my
Oh,
back.
did.
thank you.
dropped
Gosh.
the ball on that
Oh
one.
my god.
Drop the ball. So government shutdown. He knows a lot about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to talk about Europe. So the
Europe.
European people are rebelling as we speak. There's some serious rebelling going
They're
on.
chanting Trump's name as well.
Are they really?
That's what Trump said.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that.
I think
at
they
all.
were saying jump though.
That would make more sense. So the leaders of the three most important European countries, the UK, France, and Germany, are all under fire. So Theresa May, she's the UK Prime Minister.
I thought it was the Risa.
Theresa. That's
Is
what
it
I said.
The Risa?
The Risa.
Spelled the
That's
Risa.
her rap name.
Oh, the Risa.
Yeah.
That's her rap
She's
name. I like that.
The Risa.
She does British rapping.
Yeah. Tea and crumpets. and
Every day at 2.
I Kai.
Come with
Okay.
me.
I Kai.
And we'll exit
Tea-
you.
Tea and crumpets. Okay.
Brexit, yeah, would have been a better.
Yeah,
exit,
Brexit. you.
Exit you.
So she's dealing with Brexit. The deal that she's proposed, everyone in Congress and much of her country are like, you suck, Theresa. Like, we don't like this deal. So there's a huge question mark around Brexit and whether the UK is going. What, your chair fell?
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Just fix it. You'll be okay. You're okay.
I'm okay.
Are you still sweating?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sweating. It's
You-
hot in here.
You're welcome to take off your.
Yeah, you have a hat on and a sweatshirt and it looks like a thick shirt underneath.
I would
your
call that a
sweatshirt.
sweater underneath a sweatshirt.
Yeah, I have multiple layers going on. I'm fine. I'll deal with it.
Great.
I just have the shirt on my back.
So that's the first one is Brexit. If the UK does not come out with a deal on how they exit the European Union, it'd be like California seceding.
Can we just call it off? Didn't like a majority of people be like, oh, actually, I don't want to do that.
They would have to hold a referendum, a second vote.
Well, why'd they hold the first one?
Because people were clamoring to get out of the EU. The British citizens were not happy being in the EU. Supposedly, it was a close vote.
Yeah, it was like 51-49.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
close.
Why don't they hold another referendum?
That might be what they do. It's a low likelihood because like rounding up people to go and vote in the next few weeks because the due date is March 29th. They're exiting the EU officially March 29th. So they'd have to run a brand new vote on this, and they'd have to. It'd be complicated to do it. So she's struggling with that. The second thing is a man named Emmanuel Macron.
Mahram.
He is the president of France. Okay? There are people in rural France, and they've now moved into the city, Paris, who are hugely protesting his presidency and asking for him to resign.
For what reason?
He has hailed in economic reforms to try and have France kind of become the preeminent number one country in Europe, kind of like rise above Germany, because Germany's kind of like the envy. And
Damn efficient Germans.
He's raised taxes. He's done all sorts of changes, economic changes, and they're all going bananas. They're called gilets jaunes, the French yellow vests. So they're all wearing like those yellow vests that you see some homeless people wearing or some other people on the street wearing.
Like construction workers?
Yes.
Like the
reflection, kind of like has a reflector on it.
Uh-huh.
Loud yellow hunting looking things.
Yeah.
So they're all wearing those and they're just protesting in the street, and it's hundreds of thousands of people.
Why those?
Like a swarm of
It seems
bees.
like a bad thing that if you're trying to be seen.
Yeah.
But if you're going for like tactile.
They don't want to get hit by cars.
That's
Like,
true.
it's not.
We don't
not
protest.
brain
in the street
surgery.
then.
So he's rolled back a lot of the taxes he implemented. He rolled them all back. So they're actually he's actually losing to the protesters. They're making all these demands, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll roll that tax back. Okay, fine, I'll roll that tax
That's
back.
embarrassing.
Ooh.
He's
You
a former
gotta-
investment banker, 40-year-old guy.
You got to just double down on everything, a la Trump,
Yeah.
and just say,
Go out
"No,
there with
I'm gonna
rubber
build
bullets and
twice
start.
walls."
He tried that.
You
and
know
just
how
more-
to aim.
He tried that, and just more yellow vests kept coming out.
Really?
They were just
You
huge.
tried shooting them?
Yeah, they did a whole lot of
Really?
anti-violence protests, and it didn't work. And finally, Angela Merkel, the Prime Minister of Germany, she's been getting a lot of shit for all the refugees, a lot of them Muslim, but other refugees from African countries as well. She's been getting a lot of shit for letting hundreds of thousands, I think over 1 million refugees enter Germany. A lot of them were Muslim from Syria and Iraq, but also other parts of the world. And a lot of the far right-wing Germans went bananas on her. Now she helped make Germany the envy of Europe, its economy. Like they've been booming for a long time. But she is now stepping down because the calls for her to resign were just pretty high. So her preferred successor has won. It's someone from her party. So the baton is getting handed to someone right behind her, but it's really tenuous. So these big three, right? The UK, France, and Germany, there's huge changes afoot. Their people are rebelling. The whole world order is just, it's shaking. You know what I mean? Like it's shaking. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. And it's like stock markets are doing okay. Economics and economies are doing okay. Yeah, I mean, not for long. Like Stock markets don't like uncertainty. And this is all uncertainty. Like anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
What are you gonna have a podcast about once the shit hits the van? And
Did you say fan or van?
I heard van.
I said van on accident because I'm retarded. However, when the shit,
Sam's van's
that's a
rockin'.
worse thing. A van would expel shit faster than a fan would.
Right, because it has wipers, windshield wipers.
Yeah, and it's going faster.
I always thought of it as
A
like
shitstorm, like it's driving
the
in a
shit
shit.
goes into the fan, and then the fan like shoots it
Spreads
all
out,
over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
the van, it's like plops
The
on the
van
side
is
or
just like.
something.
that's true. It plops on the. But yeah,
I thought your point was that it's better if a shit hits a van than a fan.
I was gonna say it's worse.
Oh, no, it's not worse, dude. It's way worse if it's a fan.
But you're driving. You could crash the van.
Hey,
Oh, that's actually a great
I got a
point.
story that's relevant. So apparently, the Roomba does not understand slightly solid materials. Not quite liquid, not quite solid. So a friend of mine,
Like
his dog.
Newtonian fluids.
No, like
Jello.
Well, I'll just tell you. My friend had a dog who had diarrhea, and the Roomba was like, "Cool, I'll clean up this water." And it went over the diarrhea, which was slightly solid as diarrhea is, and it shot it all over their wall and couch and rest of their furniture. Their entire
that is what I would call a shitstorm.
Wait, were they there to watch?
No, this was while they were at work. The,
I
the
can imagine
Roomba-
that. Just
the Roomba
walking
works.
inside the
How do you
home.
know if the Roomba did it or just the dog sprayed shit everywhere?
I don't. That's a great question. I imagine that the spray was rather uniform and dogs are kind of random.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Okay. All right.
That would suck.
I accept your
Walking
story.
home, like open the door, like, hey, what the hell is that?
Who sprayed shit all over the wall? And every stick of furniture we had.
Yeah, and the Roomba kept on going, so just everything is just
Everything.
painted with a thin layer of diarrhea.
I mean, can you
Read a
imagine
show
if they
about it
actually...
called Diarrhea House.
This might also be like where they splurge and they're like, let's just call a cleaning lady to do this. And any cleaning lady you call in to do that, you
Oh,
know
God.
she's going to be like, this. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, she's going to
Yeah,
just kind of
quit.
like... She's just gonna like do a surface cleaning. Like, I don't want to clean up.
I feel like you gotta set the tone with the Roomba though. And you gotta be like, listen, Roomba. All
You
right.
gotta scold it?
Yeah, you gotta like
no,
put
you
it.
gotta, yeah,
Bad
hold the
Roomba.
Roomba's nose in the shit.
take that, you Roomba.
Yeah.
Roomba, we do not spray diarrhea all over everything in the house.
You have to potty train the Roomba in some way.
Put their nose in it.
Teach them what poop is. So political order is getting upended. So here's the big thing, right? Economic times right now and unemployment are at its lowest level. Economic times are strong. Unemployment is very low. All these Western political systems, the U.S., France, UK, Germany, they're under major strain and there's major rebelling going on despite good economic times. This is usually not how it happens. People normally get cranky when the economy's actually doing shitty, when the economy's in the toilet.
Yeah.
And then people start to mellow out as things improve. And people stop rebelling.
And they're like, let's vote a Republican in to trash this dump.
That's exactly the cycle.
Yep.
But here we are, right? The real question is, what's going to happen to Western politics when the economy actually does start heading south and unemployment does start going up? Like the economy's up here. People are already in the toilet. What if the economy, I've been telling you guys, I expect the economy to start to really go down. I mean, people are already
Quit watching it, Amer.
people are already pissed off. Things are just going to get uglier. I don't like where we're going is what I'm saying.
Yeah. What I was originally
Yeah, that's
gonna
like a double whammy.
Double
Go
whammy.
ahead.
ask is once the shit hits the van, and
That might be the title of the
yeah,
episode.
and money loses all like significance. What are you gonna have a podcast about?
Oh, that's easy.
Food.
No, bro, I got to tell you a story. So when I was at J.P. Morgan, and the Great Recession was beginning. All markets were starting to freeze up, and all clients were just like, yo.
I, for one, don't think it was a great recession. I thought it was a pretty poor one.
No, it was actually a great recession. Like we recessed so much.
That it was awesome.
It was an awesome
And
recession.
you just went around.
Kind of.
Yeah.
A whole 180, 360. No, so times were really, really scary. People were just like paralyzed with fear. Like, wait, all these markets are shutting down. Bear Stearns is failing. Lehman Brothers is failing. All these banks are failing. What is happening? Stock markets aren't trading in a healthy way. They keep tanking 1,000 points a day. Is the world coming to an end? Is the economy coming to an end? That was like people were wondering that every day during the Great Recession. And oddly enough, that was the most important time to start to like have money discussions and consider like what is the right smart thing to do with this money? What's the safe smart thing to do?
Invest in gold and bury it in the backyard.
I mean, that's a little extreme, but kind of like that. Yeah, like people were trying to think like, if I buy gold bars, how do I take delivery? Where would I put them? Should I be buying like a hatch in Wyoming or something like that? So if things really hit the fan and a shooting war begins, where can I go and hide?
The van.
That's when shit hits the fan. So believe it or not, this podcast will be just fine.
Cool.
That's the world order getting upended in Europe. So just keep an eye out on Europe. And
So what happens if the stock market naturally kind of goes down and then some other shit hits the fan?
Domino.
What does that
bitch.
look like? Could that
What do you mean?
could that
other shit?
potentially be worse than the 2008 recession?
Like war?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
the 2008 recession was just the housing crisis mostly, right?
I mean,
subprime mortgage.
it was subprime mortgage housing crisis that dragged the rest of the economy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're looking at a couple things like tech regulation.
Yep.
Bunch of crazy shit going on in Europe.
Yep.
Trump potentially getting his just desserts. What else? What am I missing?
Just desserts?
Yeah.
What is that?
Jail.
Oh.
Like
I've never heard
what
that.
he deserves.
Oh.
His just desserts.
Oh, I never heard
Deserves
that.
just.
I think it's desserts.
Yeah, it is.
His just desserts.
I've never heard that term in my life.
Yeah. And now that I hear it, it doesn't sound right. But I'm pretty sure I have heard it before.
Cool. Yeah.
He's
so-
like comeuppance.
comeuppance. Yeah. I mean, Michael Cohen has gone to jail and all.
But he didn't just go to jail. He went to jail for exactly longer than Trump will be in office. So if he wants to get out of jail, Trump has to not be in office so that he can squeal on Trump so that Trump can go to jail and not have the ability to, what's that called? Pardon himself.
Oh, pardon. Right.
A
Interesting.
president can pardon himself?
Yeah. How
Well, no, there's a
stupid
whole
is
there's a whole
that?
debate on that whether he can or can't.
That's so funny.
It's I think at the end of the day he can't, and Congress will make sure that he can't. But his lawyers,
What
like
would he
Rudy,
get arrested
Rudy Giuliani,
for?
is arguing that he can. What would he get arrested for?
Yeah, what would
Campaign
the charge
finance,
man,
be?
so
campaign
much.
finance law. He broke the campaign finance. He took funds to fund his campaign, and he directed Michael Cohen to pay Stormy Daniels off so that she wouldn't go to tabloids saying that she had sex with Donald Trump. And supposedly there's a tape
that
out there
seems fine to me. I really don't care about that stuff.
about him having sex with a porn star.
Well, it doesn't matter if you care about it. It matters that it was a law that he broke.
But I break laws all the time.
But
You
you're not
don't-
president.
That's true.
Yeah, you don't have as much power as the president.
That's true, but that's even
Responsibility.
more of a thing. Like he's probably not going to go to jail.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine a thing that happens where maybe he'll get impeached, which I don't even
No,
think that'll
no,
happen.
he won't get impeached.
Yeah.
Or he can, like Clinton, he can get impeached, but he won't be removed from office. Those are two separate things. Like Clinton got impeached. He was voted for impeachment. He was voted to get impeached, to impeach
But that was near the end of his presidency, right?
near the end, but
So-
still didn't matter.
Yeah.
He didn't get. What they didn't do was remove him from office, which I think is a separate vote or something like that. I don't fully understand the process, but
I
So
can't
what is the
see-
significance behind the impeachment then if it doesn't mean anything? Like what
It's
are they
just for
voting
funsies.
I don't.
Really?
I don't know actually.
I can't-
Nixon got impeached and then removed from office, but
Well, he resigned before he got
Is that right?
impeached.
Okay.
Yeah. I just with all this shit hitting the van, I can't see a scenario where Trump doesn't like face some repercussions. Literally everyone around him for the past 3 years is like facing jail time. How does he get off scot-free?
right. Well, I mean, the thought is
He's
as
good at the game. It's Monopoly. He's
yeah.
got a lot of get out of jail
This is-
free cards.
yeah.
game.
As he was processing.
Probably got a bunch of like just nude photographs of judges or
He
whatever.
doesn't have shit.
As he was living
he
his
has
life
to.
and he's making choices and decisions out there, he's having quote unquote fixers and other people do the dirty work so that he's not directly responsible. Like in this case, he instructed Cohen
Well,
to
Michael
go,
Cohen recorded everything that Trump told him.
but still Cohen had agency. Cohen decided to do it. Cohen could have said, "No, I'm not going to do your
Yeah,
dirty
yeah.
work." So, but he said, "Yes, I will do."
So
it.
when I pay someone, hey, go kill Yahia for not letting me call him Yahia, then he would be the guy I told to
a good
kill
question.
him would go to jail, not me.
I don't know. It's a good question. I think that's right.
No, that's not right.
Murdered someone?
Would the bounty hunter and the person who paid off the bounty hunter both go to jail?
Lots
Yeah.
of people go to jail for that.
Yeah. If
how do
you
you know
know,
so much about
about
this,
it
Chris?
and don't do anything,
Don't
you go to
ask.
jail. Like if you know a murder is taking place, don't
Accomplice?
do anything, but are still not involved really. But somehow they prove that you knew about it, you'll go to jail.
Like an accomplice or something?
Yeah.
So we know drones are dropping bombs all the time on innocent people in Yemen or in like the Middle East or Afghanistan or in Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
and American drones are doing it, and we all know it, but none of us go to jail.
Well,
Our country murders innocent people all the time.
yeah, but we're not. There's nothing we can do to stop. Like, what are we gonna call the cops on our own drones?
I guess
That'd be a very funny thing to do, though. Just
Yeah.
call the cop. Be like, "Excuse me, I have some
don't know what's your
information. I
emergency."
feel like we are using drones to kill people overseas." And they're like, "Well, can we?" I don't know.
that's
What can we
great. No,
respond?
you're right. That's the absurdity of that. Really, what I was saying is absurd. You know. Anyway, so yeah,
No, if you instruct someone to kill someone, then you go to jail for murder.
did you look it up?
No, I just know that.
Okay.
I've watched enough.
What do you go to
Unsolved,
college? Go to college or something?
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, there's just where are we? Basically, there's so many outstanding issues in the world right now. The ground
We're juggling
is shaking.
so many grenades.
Yes, I like that. We're juggling
good
grenades.
Juggling grenades?
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
that's great.
I'm sure it'll come out soon on Fox.
Blam! Let's move on to China.
China.
There's a lot of stuff happening there.
The China.
Trump and his sledgehammer solutions to the trade problems we have with China. Basically, this is an up-and-coming... So, I talked about this last week and the week before about Thucydides' trap,
Mm-hmm.
where basically this Greek philosopher, several 100,000...
Or
now-
what Sam calls the vagina. Oh!
I don't get it.
What?
It's Thucydides' trap.
The clit is not a hole, dude.
I mean, we'll agree to disagree, I guess. I do remember Lucidity, though. She was, what's that what I said? Real wild gal. Thucidity? Mm-hmm.
So this guy said basically that when you have a leading world power and another power that's quickly growing right behind it, there's what?
Nothing. We're good.
There's this trap that these two will always go to war unless they intentionally communicate in a way where they seek peace. It's a trap. They always end up going to, and I'm not talking about Cold War or trade war. I'm talking about shooting war. And of the last 16 empires, 12 have fallen into this trap and gone to war with each other.
Thucidity?
Thucydides is the philosopher that posed this theory. Greek philosopher from a couple thousand years ago.
Okay. I thought it was a girl I dated briefly.
No. That was Lucy.
No, her name was Thucydides.
How'd you get out of her trap? I mean, it sounds like it was pretty deep and cavernous.
It was a trap for sure.
Echo.
Yeah, really, you just kind of you just ruin it. Like you ruin everything. You just become very despondent in the relationship. You stop communicating.
Can you define despondent for those?
Nope. A big reason why it ended is I did believe her clit was a hole. And
it all makes sense now.
she
Now
disagreed
we
with
understand.
me. And real dumb bitch.
At some
She
point,
sounds like it.
Sam was telling me, I heard Sam talk about this in his stand-up. At some point, they got to a point where they'd be out at dinner and both would just be looking at their phones the whole time at dinner.
Talk about Thucydides' trap. Am I
thought you were
right?
gonna Play a sound drop.
Yeah,
like
that's
a
what I thought too.
I got you, Sam.
So this trap. So China is quickly becoming, the strongest or a leading economic power, and we are that leader.
How far are they from us?
Depends on how you measure it. So there's military,
They
there's
usually do
cultural,
like a ruler.
there's military, there's cultural.
But you always do it from the
From the what?
You measure from the balls. I think someone literally said that last episode, but I digress.
Did somebody say that?
I feel like they did, yeah. It's probably Sam.
Maybe.
Was I here?
The last episode you were here.
For like a dick size?
Yeah, it was
I
measured
started
from the
my
balls.
asshole 2 times around my balls, and then you stop a little bit above your tip.
Oh, so you use like a tape,
Yeah.
measuring tape.
Well, you use a string.
And then measure the string afterwards.
And then put the
Yeah.
string on the ruler. Nice.
What the hell has happened to this podcast? It became a verbal porn show.
Born.
So, Thucydides' trap. So, basically, Thucydides says the leading power fears losing its economic trappings, and this drives the leading power to kind of lose sight of how the relationship should be with this number 2 power.
But don't we invest so much in China? Like every product we have comes from China.
Well, what does invest mean?
Like
we build factories?
Factories or
Yeah,
at least
we are
buy
shipping
product.
factories over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
How do you go to war with someone that you're like deeply dependent on?
Yeah.
That's what Trump doesn't get. He doesn't really understand. I mean, this goes back to the question of what's the trade war. The trade war, as we've had this discussion before, it's basically what Trump doesn't realize. He thinks that we're shipping jobs and factories over to China. That's his big thing, is we're losing jobs and we're losing factories. The fact of the matter is we are building factories in China, and they are employing people in China in those factories. But the fact of the matter is those are not necessarily jobs we want to be clamoring for or hanging on to our whole life.
Yeah,
Or
I
our
feel
whole-
like China doesn't even want these jobs much longer.
Probably not. I mean, you always want to keep growing and developing. That's why we're turning into computer programmers, cellular
Dance
phone
instructors.
designers, dance instructors.
Stand-up comedians.
Seriously, Hollywood is one of our biggest exports. We're winning the cultural war with China. We're winning the military war with China. The economic war, I mean, from a growth perspective, they're probably beating us. Like they're growing by leaps and bounds, and they're quite
We're less
effective.
developed. They should beat us.
Of course,
Grow.
right?
Are they less developed?
Yeah, we're way on the
We're way
end
more
of our
developed, yeah.
Development.
Yeah, meaning like advanced. We are quite advanced as an economy, right? We're inventing iPhones, and they're
They
inventing
don't have
umbrellas.
iPhones? What?
Yeah. They're more
have
on the
iPhones.
manufacturing side of like, I'm going to manufacture an umbrella. I'm going to create steel. We used to be big with steel in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, Sam. But like
Okay.
we don't make steel
Yeah,
anymore. in this
remember
country.
Gary, Indiana?
Yeah, exactly. Have you
So
heard of
you're
that?
saying all the... No, I don't know anything about it. I'm not from here.
It was a steel place.
Pittsburgh is a better example.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
Yeah. Detroit.
autos.
Yeah.
Right. So we have developed so much that it's like, wait. Stop making everyone a steel worker and start training them to turn to computer programming, because we don't. We've developed too far beyond that. It's like the best example. I remember we talked about this last time. It's like we have a PhD from Harvard. China has a bachelor's from like Robert Morris.
They have like a GED.
A GED. Why would we want
Lay
to
off
have,
Robert Morris.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm just saying, it's
What
like
they ever do to you?
more
They're
regional.
trying really hard.
It's like a more regional, like a community college. Let's say that. That's a better way to say
I would
it.
say GED, man. They got so many people over there.
There you go, GED. Let's say that.
Yeah.
So it's
Good
like,
enough diploma.
why why would we want to hang on to our? It's like I was working at Jimmy John's in high school. I went to Harvard and got a PhD, and now I want to go back to Jimmy John's and work as a sandwich artist. Like, dude, no, you have a PhD from Harvard. Go work at Tesla now. No. I want to work at Jimmy John's still. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Wants to be humble, you know.
Let Chinese work at Jimmy John's, and we'll work at Tesla. So do you see the difference in development?
Yeah.
Well, and also like
Chinese people aren't smart, is what you guys are saying. It's
Developed.
The Japanese ones.
Yeah, they're pretty developed.
Are
Yeah.
you saying they're short?
No, where'd you get that from?
You said they weren't as developed as we are.
Oh,
So they're scrawnier.
damn, look at those guns.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
and I mean to your point, like if if a person is trained in computer programming versus like a metal planting or metal stamper, it's like their per
Hey,
person
how do you
output,
plant metal?
whatever.
You can't plant metal.
Oh, you watch me.
you silly
We're
man.
a metal tree right here, right now. Like their value that they're creating is like much larger. And if we wanted to stay the number one economy, we should be like massaging that and encouraging that more people do that.
Yes.
It seems very counterintuitive to be like, oh no, let's do that coal. Let's get
We
back
should
to
be massaging
coal.
the Chinese. It's the other way around, right?
Well, yeah, I mean
No, those are
they,
the
they
time.
generally.
Happy ending.
that's
Would you
the,
like a happy ending?
that's a Thai massage. Sam,
No-
Chinese and Thai are
No
very
one
different people.
Asian
No, I
has
don't believe
ever said that.
And then by the end, they're like, "You've been here for an hour. You go home now."
No one has ever been like that on the nose with it. Been like, you want happy ending?
Oh, you want me to rub your dick until you come, Maru?
No one's ever said that.
What
Especially
the
a
hell
guy.
has happened? This podcast has been hijacked by racist
me and
Asian
Sam
people.
are like an echo chamber of like naughty, disgusting things. It's your fault for inviting us on this podcast.
The South has risen again.
Now I got to make a note to delete that F-bomb. Look what you made me do.
Have you been doing the camera switching, Chris?
Yeah.
You're great, dude. How do you do it? How do you do it all?
It honestly, I didn't think it was gonna work today. I was just gonna pretend to do it.
Just make it look like it's just something on his side.
All right.
To be like, yeah, video didn't turn out. Sorry, bro.
So this whole thing is, so this is trade. This is China. We get that.
Basically, it sounds like with China, it's like we're putting money in a piggy bank and then burning it.
What?
There was a lot of tension in that silence. I was just kind of.
That's what I got from
Joe,
everything that you said. Like
The
you
only
were-
thing Amer had left was Yahia to say something like normal and that made sense. And I could just see the life fade from Amer's eyes.
All right, no, seriously. What did you mean by we're putting money in a piggy bank and then burning it? What do you mean?
It made sense to me at the time. When you I don't know.
By the time
Like-
you mean literally 5 seconds.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yahia's still developing.
I'm not Chinese.
Do you know what you mean?
I'm trying to. let me
I'm
see.
so burnt out.
Let me trace back my thinking. It's like everything that you said
Amer
with
looks
China.
more
It's like we
hungover
were putting
than
money
Sam.
over there.
Really? What'd you say?
Like everything you said with China, like we're putting money over there.
Yeah,
And
building
then we're going-
factories.
Again, we're going to war with them. So it's like we're burning
Oh,
their
I
money.
We're not going to war with China.
Well, the trade war.
We're definitely in a trade war. No. Thucydides would say we're going to be going into a shooting war.
I would say we're not gonna. There will be no violence.
You've made that argument many times.
Yeah.
You feel very strongly about it.
I do. I've been to China. I've never been
have
to.
you really?
Never
It
been
doesn't
to
mean that
Afghanistan.
we can't go to war. You've been there. What goofy
China, we can't go
logic?
to war with them.
I've been to
No,
China.
I've been there.
There's no way we can go to war with somewhere I've been.
I went to Vietnam on vacation. Seemed fine. I don't.
No, like
I've been
who
to
are we
Iraq,
technically.
and we went to war with them.
Who are we technically at war with right now? Afghanistan.
Technically,
Yeah.
yeah, the Taliban.
do you know
the
that's been to
Taliban,
Afghanistan?
ISIS, and the Taliban. Who do I know? I mean,
Yeah.
there's an Afghani woman you introduced me to once before that she's from
Okay.
there, right?
So
Yeah.
that's one.
That's all I know.
Okay, so we're at war with them.
Yeah,
How many people you
But
know have
not-
been to
but not-
China?
millions.
Shitload.
Yeah, but hold on,
Still
dude. Just so
doesn't-
you know,
You
My-
said again.
I know.
You
I'm making
fucking
a
idiot.
note.
bro, Chris.
Me and
the-
Sam are
it's-
being like so passive aggressive.
It's funny.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny you bring this up right now. So let's transition.
Okay.
Meng Wanzhou is the CFO of one of the largest tech companies in the world. It's a Chinese tech company called Huawei.
Huawei?
Have you
Wait,
heard of
which
Huawei?
way?
Yeah.
Huawei.
Huawei?
Yeah.
What?
Not Yahweh.
Which way did
Huawei.
they go?
What? No
Exactly.
way.
Way.
Huawei.
Huawei.
They make so many components for all sorts of cellular like networks and things like that. They have like 90 billion in revenue. One of the biggest companies in the world. Their CFO landed in Vancouver, and the U.S. instructed Canadian authorities to arrest her on the spot. Customs took her in. She's been in jail. All right.
Why?
Because the U.S. said the company she works for, Huawei, has been dealing with an Iranian company from Iran. And Iran, according to the U.S., has put sanctions on any country in the world doing any business with Iran because of Iran's nuclear ambitions.
Wait, which way did Iran?
Huawei.
Boom.
So the U.S. is like, hey, she's been dealing with Iranian companies, arrest her. Canada arrested her. Now the U.S. is trying to extradite her. The U.S. is trying to get her out of Canada into a U.S. court so that we can put her on trial.
Crazy.
Who directed this?
The Justice Department. The U.S. Justice
So
Department.
Trump has nothing to do with this?
Well, supposedly, if it's the Justice Department, Trump has nothing to do with it. But the day Trump was sitting down in Buenos Aires having a meeting about trade with President Xi Jinping from China, they were literally arresting this woman in Canada, same day.
Jeez.
So it's hard to believe Trump had nothing to do with this. And by the way, Trump came out the other day, 2 days ago, and said, you know, if it helps us get a trade deal done with China, I will intervene with this Meng Wanzhou woman and get her released. So, like,
Oh my god.
what, you have the power
of
to get her
Dude,
out?
This is such like a mob move.
That's who he grew up with, was the
Yeah.
mob in
This is
Atlantic
a
City
mob
and New York
move.
City and New Jersey. So he now get this. China's not
Leverage.
dumb. China's not dumb. China's like Canada. Let her go. Don't send her to the U.S. Let her go.
Yeah.
And Canada's like caught between a rock and a hard spot. They're caught
Dude,
between
Canada,
the U.S.
you
and
gotta
China.
Let her go.
Guess what?
That's
Guess what?
that.
They didn't let her go. So she went into court asking for bail. She went to court twice. The first time she asked for bail, it was rejected. So they kept her in a Vancouver jail in Canada,
Jesus.
right? And then
I bet a Vancouver jail is just like a nice apartment complex in Chicago, though.
yeah, for sure.
It probably has like
probably
beanbag
nicer.
chairs.
I
and-
remember like when I lived in Canada for 2 years, the homeless people looked better than I did in Canada. Like they were just so well put together, right? Nice.
They have homeless people in
I
Canada?
couldn't believe it either.
Yeah.
Totally. But
They probably do that out of choice, giving their home to someone else. Sleep in.
yeah, they're
probably.
so nice that they decide. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave my roommates instead of telling them I can't live here anymore. I'm just gonna walk out.
Sorry,
Yeah.
don't want to be a bird.
Sorry. so she gets
Sorry,
so
eh?
so
It's about
Canada.
killing me.
So Canada rejects her bail request. Then China 2 days ago, or maybe 3 days ago, arrests a guy named Michael Kovrig, a former Canadian ambassador
no.
in China. Right?
Way to go, Canada.
What did he do?
I forget what they said.
Just Canadian, and then China's just latching on to any. They just arrest some Canadian tourist. We're like, you got one of yours, you got one of ours, we got one of yours. It's just some guy. Like,
honestly, if I'm China, I mean, I wouldn't put it back. So
Fight fire with dragon fire.
yep. So China, so Canada. Then she goes up for bail again a second time. This is, I think, yesterday now. And while she's up for bail, I think around the same time or just before, China arrests a second Canadian in China.
We see your one arrest and raise you.
Too.
Yeah. and so now guess what happened yesterday? We're releasing Meng. She's been released on bail, $7.5 million bail. So now she's been released. She's in Vancouver. She's wearing a electronic device around her ankle. What are those called?
You can't cut those off.
Ankle
bracelet?
Yep.
Like
a Lindsay Lohan
an ankle bracelet. Is she on
fashion
house arrest?
house arrest. That's it. Yeah, basically house arrest. She can't leave the country. So
it's a large house, like house arrest. You just can't leave the country.
She doesn't have a
maybe
house.
Vancouver. She's probably in a hotel at the Ritz. She runs a $90 billion company. You think
Dude,
money's
she could just fly. The thing's not going to explode.
Oh, the electronic device?
Yeah.
But no, Canadian authorities
she
won't
got
let her-
away.
They won't. Canadian authorities won't let her get on an airplane, obviously.
I mean,
She
she
can
has a
buy her
private
own
plane, doesn't she?
Nah, but you got to go through customs still.
Yeah.
She's not above the law. So she's stuck in Vancouver, and Trump is. I do believe Trump is completely involved in this, and he's using it as a token when they arrested her, and so, he's using it as a bargaining chip. Now, what's funny in all this is China and the U.S. had a call the day before yesterday about trade, and lo and behold, China is lowering its tariffs on American imported cars, Chevys and Cadillacs and so on and so forth. So it's going to be easier to sell American cars in China. And China has agreed to begin repurchasing soybeans from American farmers, which was a huge thing. Farmers have been piling and throwing away soybeans because China has stopped buying them because of the trade war. So something's moving, something's happening in this trade war where China is starting to actually ease up on the gas. People are still getting arrested, but the point is, if I'm an American corporate executive and I'm watching Meng Wanzhou and these Canadians get arrested, you think if I'm Tim Cook, I'm going to go fly over to China right now?
No.
Absolutely not.
I mean...
I'm grounded. I'm grounded myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So my point to you, Chris, is we could totally get to a shooting war if Trump doesn't handle this whole situation correctly, or China doesn't handle this whole situation correctly. And people are going to start to travel to China less. Let's see what happens tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Yeah. I honestly feel like, the reason Trump got elected is he was such a different, noticeable personality. And
A
then...
Dorito.
Sure, you can call him that. And the Republicans had so thoroughly jerry-rigged all the jury-rigged all the voting
You
districts.
just combined gerrymandering and jury-rigged with jerry-rigged.
Did I?
I
Gerrymandering.
Oh, you do want to say gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering.
So gerrymandered, meaning like the boundaries.
Yeah, they gerrymandered the voting districts
Yep.
so well that a Republican candidate was going to win whoever it was.
In which state or country? In
The
general?
U.S.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, he lost by 3 million votes, and he's still the president.
Right.
Like, that's insane.
Wow, is that right? 3 million?
Yeah. So I honestly think like the powers that be behind the scenes are like, all right, this guy's a wild card. Like, the line is war with China. We're gonna pull him if it's looking like we're heading that way.
Yeah, I see.
We're gonna, shots fired is like, oh shit, Trump. Oh no, it turns out he did do all those things that he did. Jail. Go to jail.
I mean, let's not forget, bro. Congress likes going to war, right?
Makes
Our leaders like going to war.
But
what happened
that's
to
such
you?
an unnecessary.
What?
Sam just keeps shrinking.
Hey, do you know
He's
what
just
a
not as
guy?
developed.
Do you know when a guy riding a motorcycle has the little sidecar and I think the really low thing and there's someone really low to the ground?
Yeah.
He looks like he's in a sidecar right now.
I'm the
Sidecar
podcast
Sam.
sidecar. He's the sidekick. I'm the sidecar.
I'm driving.
Sidecar Sam.
You know what? I think you're right. Actually, I do think they like to go to war, but they like to go to war with wars that they're pretty sure they can win.
Yeah, with wars that no one's gonna
China?
notice.
Yeah, China would be. I mean, it's World War III basically.
And there's no
Because everyone's got to
Nazis.
take sides at that point.
We're the closest thing to Nazis right now.
Yeah. Well, no, Nazis are the closest thing to Nazis. There are Nazis.
And like they all turned out in droves to vote for our current
Yes,
regime.
the alt-right supports. Steve Bannon supports. Yeah. That's right. I also heard my friend has a great joke where he's like, Donald Trump is trying to be the leader of the white civil rights movement, which makes Steve Bannon Malcolm X, because Donald Trump is trying to be the Martin Luther King of the white civil rights movement.
That's funny.
So China trade, something's starting to move in trade, but other shit's getting worse with arrests and travel and all this other stuff. So a shoe can drop. I'm surprised the stock market isn't pricing more of this in. I do fully expect, not fully, but I mean, I'm predicting a recession. I'm predicting some. I think the stock market should be trading lower because the world order is getting shaken up quite a bit, and the world has been used to 70, 80 years of NATO and Europe and U.S. like arm in arm. Now it's like Trump doesn't care about Europe. Trump only cares about himself, and it's damaging relationships with Europe and with China.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Agreed. I learned so much from this podcast. I stopped reading the news about 2 months ago because it was just making me sad.
Yeah.
And it was like, what I can't think of a worse way to start your day
Yeah.
than to read like, oh, wow. So here's how much of the world is on fire.
Yep. Literally.
So like coming here, like I don't know anything except for like what the Wall Street Journal like pop-up tells me. And normally it's a lot of fun stuff like Cohen is going to jail for 3 years. And I'm like, sweet. But coming in here, I'm like, oh shit, there's some like shit going down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell stuff on eBay
Drama.
before no one has any money.
What were you gonna say, Sam?
I was just gonna ask if you think like a stock market crash could spur like a war happening, or like vice versa, where if there was a war to break out, then stock would plummet. But usually stock doesn't plummet in times of
War.
right?
It depends. Like if world order is a big enough war, yeah, the stock market will take a hit. Usually, the stock market's taking a hit right before the war because we're probably going to war because of some shit that went down.
Yeah.
Like 9/11 is a great example. Towers go down, stock market crashes. 3 months later, or 2 months later, we go to war with Afghanistan and Taliban and Al Qaeda, and the stock market starts to rebound. Right. So that's kind of how it works. But this is kind of a different situation we're in now. This is a world order situation. China is an economic powerhouse. Sorry, Afghanistan and Iraq were not an economic powerhouse. So there's three major fronts: four: technology, military, culture, and economic wars. Wars is not the best word, but those are four big parts to any country's existence: is tech, culture. Tech is obviously innovation. Culture would be like Hollywood or food. Military is military, and then economic is economic. We know what that is. So the I think biggest reason wars will happen, modern wars, is economics. People will feel threatened in some way. I would say 1,000 years ago, it was honor. Like if a country felt like it was
get honor.
What's get? Yeah, get honor.
Get honor, stay honor.
Honor, I hardly know her, and that's cool by me, because I like fucking strange. That's another F word. Edit that out. Edit the whole thing out.
You basically got Sam. Basically,
No, me and
dropping
Sam are
F-bombs.
we're playing this game where we're just like successively more passively aggressive with each other. And I thought I would sort of take it to the next level and just show a camera of me coughing during his joke.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Hey Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
Suck my dick. So we get along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
We're both in on it.
both things are a yes, Sam. If the stock market were to crash, that itself could lead to some kind of a war because it might be for trade reasons with China. And then the reverse, if there's some sort of a shooting war or a military war, that, depending on the war situation, could also lead to stock market really getting hit. But most wars in general, especially modern times, are based on economic wars, not so much military wars. You know, like 9/11 was different. Our country was attacked, so that was a military war, attack war, violence war. But it was also kind of an economic war. Like they literally went straight for the World Trade Center. They were trying to attack our economy. You know.
Yeah. What is that, like a trade war? Like if one breaks out, it gets worse. What does that mean for my minimum wage day jobs?
Good question. So
There'll be less of them.
with trade wars, what's happening is China's putting on tariffs on everything they import from the U.S., and then we're putting taxes or tariffs on everything we import from China.
Yeah.
So borders start to close. We become a more isolated country. We become kind of like an island as opposed to just openly trading with everyone. When you openly trade with everyone, Apple will call China and be like, hey, can you make this chip? Can you give me this? Can you do that? Can you make this cheaper? Can you do that cheaper? Suddenly, if there's a lot less trading happening, prices go up all across the board. Inflation goes up. Unemployment goes up. It's harder to get a job. Your minimum wage job, for example, will make it harder for you to live by. So in general, life just gets harder. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a wrap for business news and other shit.
Woo!
If your ears aren't bleeding at this point, you're a healthy human being.
Then you probably...
You win.
Didn't listen to the podcast.
Thank you all for listening. Chris, Yahia, Sam, thank you for being here.
Yo.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, man.
Sam, where can we reach you on
The
social media?
interwebs.
Sam Pricket on Facebook, Smug Pricket on Instagram. And if you're in Chicago, Zany's January 14th through 20th, I will be co-featuring there. I'm
Zany's
excited.
in Chicago, Old Town,
Yeah,
not Rosemont.
not Rosemont.
Which show? The first or the second? Isn't it like an 8 p.m. and a 10 p.m.?
I think I'm on all of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. January 14th through the 20th, 2019.
Yeah.
Sam Pricket.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Peace.
Peace.
Woo!